What's up, core reporters, and welcome back to my channel. It looks as though our beloved Gypsy Rose Blanchard has gotten herself into quite the pickle. As you recall, she is currently married to Ryan Anderson, but pregnant by another man who goes by the name Ken Urker, or I have a difficult time pronouncing his last name, even though it's only a couple letters. But this is who she's pregnant by, and he is not her husband. Now, in the state of Louisiana, that rightfully comes with a lot of complications when it comes to recognizing the paternity of this baby. And, the gag is on the finale episode of Gypsy Rose's Life After Lockup show, Ryan actually let it be known that he and Gypsy were trying for a baby. So Gypsy has allegedly confided in him that she too doesn't know the father of the child. They will actually legitimately, outside of just legal obligation, they will need to perform a paternity test in order to settle the thing. So now Gypsy's saying, in response to fans, that she doesn't even know what kind of last name this child is going to have because paternity has not been established. She is still married to one man while pregnant by another. The baby is going to be born before the divorce is finalized. And if Ryan wanted to be messy the way that Gypsy has been messy throughout this breakup and separation, he can really stake his claim on the baby's last name and everything. Let's take a listen to what it is that she had to say, okay? And by the way, I want to shout out Chew Crew Cult on TikTok for posting this video. Here we go.
So I seen people asking, will the baby have Ken's last name, or will it be a Blanchard? Will it be an Anderson? Will it be a Urker? And the truth is, I am not 100% sure on that. I've asked my divorce attorney, and what I gather from everything is that if Ryan is kind and will allow us to go ahead and put the baby's name down as Urker, that could be a possibility. But if Ryan wants to fight it, then it makes it really hard. Ryan knows he's not the father, because I got pregnant during Jazz Fest weekend, and I had already been away from Ryan and not been intimate with him after leaving. So I don't see him putting up a fight for the baby because he knows it's not his.
Okay, well, there you go. It appears as though Gypsy is spinning a tall tale because on that show, Ryan made it very clear that he and Gypsy were trying for a baby and that he was shooting up that club very often. And then when Gypsy got back together with Ken, the timeline is just too close to her timeline with Ryan for her to be sure that Ken is the father of this child. So personally, if I were Ryan, I would be insisting on DNA testing because you're not about to have your mistress raising my child and me not know for sure that this isn't my child, right? So I find it very interesting, the manipulative language that Gypsy uses here when she says, if Ryan is kind, then he'll kind of just back off and let us do our own thing. No, girl, you fudged this up too royally. The timelines are too close. Like it would be kind of Ryan to try and clarify this all once and for all, because at this point, obviously, you have lied to him so many times. You consistently told him not to worry about Ken. In that phone call with him on the finale, you told him that Ken was just a friend. You guys are not intimate or anything like that. Meanwhile, in the next scene over, you're calling him, you're telling him you love him, you're sitting on his lap, making out with him in front of your parents. You're telling your parents that you guys, we're going to have a baby soon and stuff like that. Like you were lying this entire time. So why should he take your word as gold when you have already proven that you were perfectly capable of lying in his face? Honestly, Gypsy, I can't believe the way that you messed this whole thing up. It's just wrong decision after wrong decision here. Like, first of all, she got a nose job, which is something that she had wanted for a very long time. And everybody knows you are not supposed to get pregnant within a year of your rhinoplasty. Give it time to heal, give it time to settle. And so what does she do? A couple weeks later, she gets with Ken and she gets knocked up. And then that obviously has an impact on her rhinoplasty results. As you saw in that video that I posted earlier, or sorry, shared earlier, her nose is swollen and she is like, what, 8-9 months out of this rhinoplasty or something like that. Or 7 months, like where it should be like, shrinking, it's swelling instead because the woman is with child, right? And then here you go. You have the opportunity to respectfully divorce your husband and then move on, right? But what do? Immediately after you move out of his apartment, you get a matching tattoo of a dog you don't even have, while you leave your actual dog behind. You abandon it with your ex-husband, and then you get knocked up by this man that you kept on claiming your ex was crazy over, and that he was delusional, and that he was just like obsessing over nothing, like he was paranoid and stuff. Come on. And not only that, and this is something we discussed when I did my finale recap, but she went ahead on the show, while knowing that she and her husband were trying to have a kid, she brought her sister into the storyline, and then she calls up her husband, who shot up her club knowing that he's trying to get her pregnant, and that's something they agreed to, and she announces that she's about to take Plan B because she could potentially be pregnant. Like, this girl has been running circles around Ryan this entire time. She really pulled the wool over his eyes. So it is 1000% in Ryan's best interest to make this a proper fight to see if he truly is the father of this child. You cannot take Gypsy at face value, Ryan. Do not let her manipulate you. Do not let her sweet talk you. This very well could be your child. Maybe we're going to have to go back in retrospect if we find out that this is your child and Photoshop you here, maybe behind Ken, maybe on the other side of Gypsy. I'm not sure yet. But if it does turn out like that, mark my words, you guys, I will be Photoshopping him into these pregnancy announcement photos. Listen, you guys, Gypsy, I don't know why you did all this. All of this could have been avoided if you just properly took the time to be single or to date Ken after your separation or divorce from Ryan, instead of jumping from one bed into the other like this. Now look at the situation that you have gotten yourself involved in. It is just, a rather raggedy situation, and you've got nobody to blame but yourself and your stepmother, Christy, who is just as, no offense, but dim-witted and bird-brained as you are. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think about all this. I do want to start taking some bets here. Not literal monetary bets, but just some bets. So guys, please let me know. Do you think that Ken truly is the father of this child? Or do you think we're going to find out that Ryan was the father of this child? Let me know which way you're leaning in the comment section down below. And if you think that Ryan should stay on Gypsy's ass and make sure to insist on getting the paternity test and all of that like officially sorted before stepping out of the ring. Make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. Bye, guys. See you in my next video.